How long have you coached this debate program?
I've been a coach since the beginning for 5 years.
You've been a coach for elementary school or high school, or?
For elementary school.
Did you have any debate experience before you coached?
I was in, let me start that again.
So you could say,
no,
experience.
I know, I just got stumbled.
Okay.
I know how to answer it.
Oh.
I just stuck because I realized I was looking at the floor. So I've been in, I participated in speech and debate all throughout middle school and high school, and was in debate as a college student, participated in national parliamentary debate.
Do you feel like debate experience is essential to being a debate coach?
It's certainly helped me because I can put myself in the situation that the students are in, and I can see things from their side of the desk. I don't think it's necessary, but I've certainly appreciated that experience.
What is your favorite thing about coaching debate?
There are many things I enjoy about coaching debate, but right now the thing that's most important to me, that I'm most enjoying, is that unfortunately these days it's just so easy to be inundated by vitriolic attacks by adults and unsubstantiated claims, and getting to watch these students work together and make thoughtful arguments, to see them treating each other with respect, and to watch them share their opinions and listen is really heartening and really inspiring, and that's one of the things I love most about coaching debate.
How do you as a coach teach your debaters to treat each other with respect rather than ad hominem attacks on each other?
Well, I always start the course talking about respect, and that how respect is what makes the difference between an argument or a fight and a debate. That we can listen to one another and we can disagree, but if we can do it respectfully, that's when we're having a conversation, that's when we're having a debate. So I talk about it all the time, probably almost too much to the students' ears, but I also point it out when students are showing good respect, or I try to model it. I also ridiculously model disrespect just to give them a good laugh, but also to remind them what kind of behavior they're going for. And I also do a lot to encourage the children to point out awesome examples of teammate or good teammanship. So they are encouraged to acknowledge their peers when they're being respectful or working well together.
How do you point out, what would be an example of how you point out or model disrespect?
I sometimes model disrespect. I say, okay, now when the other speaker is speaking, you need to show respect by being a good listener. If you're not a good listener, that's disrespect. So and so, why don't you go ahead and speak? And while they speak, which of course is over the top, but it's a good reminder for the kids.
As a debate coach, can you identify specific benefits to kids who participate in this debate program, and as a teacher?
So for kids who participate in this program, it is really helpful academically, because in debate we give them the structure to make their arguments, which they're going to need to do in any sort of analysis or essay that they do in school. So knowing how to put forth a claim, how to find evidence, how to use logic to support that evidence and show how it proves the claim, that's an essential skill in any sort of analysis that they're going to do as a student and on in life. And then of course, no matter what you do in life anymore, you have to be comfortable speaking in front of a group. At minimum, you're going to need to speak at meetings at some point in your life. And so having that practice in a safe environment can really let the children become comfortable and more confident in that skill.
Awesome. And can you give us what is your background as far as employment or as an educator, I should say?
So my experience as an educator is pretty varied. I started as at the Children's Museum in my hometown back in high school, and so I've always been involved in education. I was a ranger for the National Park Service in Yellowstone National Park. I taught second grade in Colorado for many years. I did my graduate work in education in New Zealand and then in England, so I got to visit those schools and learn about education in other countries. And then since moving to Seattle, I've been a private tutor, and I also work for the city parks doing nature programs. So, and of course, working with debates. So I have a lot of variety in my teaching experience.
Would you say debate is for all kids, and why or why not? And it might not be, but do you think debate, is your opinion, that it's for all kids?
I think debate is for all kids. And I've had all kinds of kids in my clubs over the last 5 years. Some who are very confident and very boisterous and maybe very argumentative, and others who are very shy, and everything in between. Students who have sort of traditionally strong academic skills, and those who might be a little bit weaker in their academic skills. And there's something they can all get from that. Building on those rhetorical skills and those analytical skills are going to help them no matter what, and everybody can access that at some point. Learning to speak confidently, and also learning how to speak in a measured way. So for some of the kids who are more boisterous, it can help them to find a more natural voice. And so I think every kid can benefit and find something that really hooks them in debate, and something that can help them grow where they need to.
What is the first advice that you would give to a new debate coach?
My advice for a new debate coach would be, don't underestimate the students. Even though we usually work with children who are only 9, 10, and 11, they actually already have a wealth of opinions about the world, and they know a lot more about the world than you may realize. And so don't underestimate their experiences and their thoughts and what they've already created some strong opinions about. And debate, for some of these students, they are eager for a vehicle to express their opinions, and helping them to learn how to express those opinions and how to organize their thoughts is really important. So don't underestimate them.
What are the rewards for you or for any adult who coaches kids debate? The rewards.
Some of the rewards of coaching debate is just getting to see how many creative arguments and how many deep thoughts these kids already have. It's really fun to see some engaging debate amongst young students, and it's very inspiring. In general, the kids are just really happy and fun to be around, and it's good to get that pickup of energy from the youth. And it's also rewarding to know that I feel like I'm contributing to my society, to my community. I feel like being a debate coach is doing something to help the youth in this community.
What is a challenge as a debate coach, and how did you overcome it, if you did?
One of the challenges of being a debate coach is that I don't necessarily work in the school that I coach at, so it's a new culture. It's learning a new school culture can always be a challenge. And you overcome that by talking to the students, if possible, getting to know some of the teachers or staff at the school. And it always just takes a little bit of adjustment. Each school is a little bit different, and finding those ways where you can reach those students and find some common ground to move forward as a team. So just learning what to expect from each school and the students at that school is difficult, but sticking with it and just getting to know the people as much as possible seems to help.
Talk about curriculum for a moment. So we're going to talk about debatable curriculum, but not really use the word debatable, so that's going to be a little tricky.
That's okay.
But I want to talk about it as this program's curriculum. Yeah. So how closely do you stick to the weekly lessons in this program?
I use the curriculum and stick to it very closely each week. It has some options for different activities to use each week, so that is really nice because it can still stick right to the curriculum, but have the flexibility I need for my students.
Can you discuss briefly why this curriculum seems to work with the kids in this age range?
I think this curriculum works really well for these students, particularly these 9, 10, 11-year-old students, because it's very structured. Each week we look at one part of debate and work through that one part, and then move on to another part, and then eventually learn how to put these pieces together. But because it's it's structured and it's taken everything one piece at a time. It really gives good scaffolding for the students, and it helps them to become successful at debate.
Nice word, scaffolding. I like that. How do you keep the lessons interesting? And I guess, is there something particular that you use in this curriculum to spice up the lessons when they need to be spiced up? I mean, is there something necessary? Maybe it's not necessary, but is there something you use to keep it fun or interesting? Fun, I should say.
Yeah. Well, the curriculum has a lot of games and activities, and so there are some parts of the curriculum where it's very much teaching a specific skill, but you can do that using some of the different games and activities, and so I can use those to get the kids excited or get them moving or get them speaking more, and so I use those a lot.
Finally, and you may have already said this, in your opinion, what is the strongest element of the curriculum?
I think the structure of the curriculum is its strongest element. It just provides a really good path to organizing these skills and makes it digestible for the students and for the coaches, for that matter. Even though I've had experience as a debater myself, I think the curriculum is set up in a way that if you never taught debate before, you can still do it, because there's lots of supplemental information in the curriculum to help you support you as a coach. And again, the way that it's broken up to reach the debaters makes it also accessible for an adult who wants to teach debate, even if he or she has never done it before.
Awesome.
All right.
Great.